Hello everyone and welcome back to another study with me. Instead of just showing a few long study time lapses, I thought that for this video I would share some clips of the different study methods that I've been using when revising for my upcoming exam. When this video goes live, my big math exam that I've been preparing for this gap year is actually tomorrow. So here you will see some of the revision methods that I used during these last few days before my exam. I hope you will enjoy this video and that it can give you some motivation and perhaps some tips for revision methods you might use yourself. As you've already seen, my first method is making summary notes. You've probably already guessed this if you've watched my previous videos, but my most effective way of learning information is just by writing it down again and again. So I decided to go through each of the chapters and make a short summary of all the most important formulas and information, and this was really helpful when I did practice questions later. So here I'm doing some exam style practice questions, and this is the study method I spend the most time doing. I try to vary the topics I study, but I always tend to focus on the topics that I feel are my weakest. So in these clips, I mainly focused on trigonometric functions and equations. Next, I did something I only started doing recently, but that has been very helpful. So these last weeks, I've done a lot of past papers. And what I like to do on the last days before the exam is to go over these past papers again. Only this time, I just look at the questions and write down how I'm going to solve them without actually doing it. I do this to check that I know all of the different methods and formulas, as well as to find out if there are certain types of questions that need more practice. When I did these past papers a while ago, I also wrote down whether I got the questions right on the first try or if I needed help, so that when I go over them again, I can focus mainly on the questions that I struggled with the previous time. Another study method I've used is whiteboard revision. And yes, I'm sitting on the floor doing this because doing it while the whiteboard was hanging on the wall above my desk was just not comfortable. So I can study for different ways on a whiteboard, but this time I decided to go through some example problems of question types that I'm not 100% confident on yet. So I quickly went through my textbook and marked the example problems I wanted to go through. And then I just wrote them down step by step on my whiteboard. I sometimes also use a whiteboard for doing regular questions, but I find that it's especially useful for going through example questions because I can go through a lot of them without wasting any paper. So these are the methods I've been using the most this last week before my exam, and I try to vary my methods as much as I can to prevent the revision from getting boring. So I keep alternating between the different methods, and my main focus is always on my weakest topics. I think it's important to do whatever you can on these last days before your exam to ensure that you keep your motivation up for this final bit of time, and these revision methods have definitely helped me with that. So that is it for this study with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you too have exams coming up, I wish you the best of luck. Next time I see you here, my summer holidays will actually have started, which is going to be pretty nice. So I hope you have a great week ahead. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again next week with another video.